Oh, we're back to this, are we? I'm glad he made a number 2 to the...
So, this,
you are
combined with the
exiting.
entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Interesting. March 2009. The Great and Lonely Descent? What are we descending into? Yeah, this is definitely lonely. Could you imagine living in a house like that while
Let's talk about
surrounded
video
by
game
this?
development for a second.
You go mad.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Yeah?
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Makes sense to me.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
I suppose. Never thought of it like that. I'm guessing that we need to go a lot lower. Oh, this is why it's called the... Yeah, I get it now, why the abyss or descent, whatever the hell it was. We're literally just going down. One more? Yes. Well, that was cut. There's a videotape on the ground? That's glass. Yeah, it's glass. I can't get it. Okay, well, I'll leave that for now then. I don't know why there's a videotape in there, but I kind of want to watch it. What's on it? This kind of makes me uncomfortable. This reminds me of cattle. Oh, good. I can't get out. This is kind of creeping me out. If this game actually had enemies in it, I would be freaking out if this was a horror game, because that is just cool. Oh, okay, we're going up. And... ooh.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Really?
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
There was no gag. Just wander around. Oh, this is really neat.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Oh, good. I'm glad he's made it easy.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
I like how he's played all the games, that he made this game out of all of Coda's games, and he's actually, like, that's fucking weird, interpreting everything with us, for us. You there, did you come?
Here, Coda begins using
above?
a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there was a world stamped within whiteness. Yeah! Stamped within whiteness. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Again, perfect. Now please, tell us, how did you solve it? Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. Trust me, you don't want to get over there. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. Yeah, that's fucking not creepy at all, but let's creep him out. You didn't solve it? So you have learned nothing. You cannot help us escape this prison. You are not the one I need. Surely there will be someone else. Are you certain about that? Hey guys, you gonna follow? No? You just gonna sit there? Oh, there's more. Alrighty then. Hello. How did you get here? Was there a puzzle that you passed through? Yes. Do you have to know how to solve it? No, I've been right here this entire time. Oh, no. We actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Why would I care about the space between the doors? Actually, now that you mention, I remember feeling strange as I passed through it. I don't recall a space between the doors. And there is a reason, but it may take time before you understand, which is fine. You'll see it again soon. Wow, his head just turned 90 degrees. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was just gonna stay solid, and it didn't. And it kind of freaked me out. Again, if this was a horror game right now...
So we make one last descent, down to the final floor of the level.
It's quite a large level, actually. I mean, Coda put a lot of work into it, just didn't finish them. I'm sure you could have done some excellent work if you just, spent the time to polish it off and finish. The single
It's a lamppost.
lantern.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Cool? Alright, to the next level then. It's kind of creeping me out, but it's still really, really interesting. April 2009, this game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. That's kind of neat. That's really cool. I take it this is a note. Nice room. Not. Not exactly
So first
good.
off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them.
Oh, good.
Either way,
that's good to know.
to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
I guess it's a good interpretation. I wonder if...
But it's ironic, isn't it?
Coda has
that
played this
in
game.
playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
That's one way of thinking about it, and I can only agree with it. That is a neat painting. That's kind of cool. I think that's a replica of a very famous painting that goes for millions of dollars. More than likely. I mean, there's lots of modern art like that goes for a lot of money. Don't know why, but it does. I understand like old paintings and like good art going for a lot of money, but something that's just a bunch of splatters, I can't see the art in that. Or maybe I'm just alone.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Shit, how do I solve it?
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
What is the bigger picture, and what are the typewriters? There's a typewriters typing in unison, it's probably the exact same thing over and over again. And there's the lantern. Are you there? Please say something. I can be anything. I just need you. Say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak. I don't know why, but I'm getting the creeps from this right now. No idea why. And Fluffy falls off the edge!
Oh, you better...
Shit!
No, Fluffy.
I wonder how cute Fluffy is in real life.
No, you don't hold that. I have to tell you...
Fuck!
I have to tell you what you have to do with that. What color's the button?
White.
White. Release the